So I found this ancient Nokia in my drawer, and my first thought was, can you even game on this thing? So I decided to go back 20 years and try every era of mobile gaming, each era being represented by a new phone, which I'll use to play each game. Were games actually better back then, or are we just blinded by nostalgia? Let's find out. First, let's start with the Nokia 6300. This thing came out in 2007. It had a solid all-metal body, a 2-megapixel camera, and replaceable batteries. Speaking of, the first battery wasn't charging, so I decided to check it out and realized that it was swollen, which meant that I had to get a new one. I also realized that this thing had a micro SD card with 128 megabytes of storage. Megabytes. That's like 30 MP3 songs. It has a strange looking charger which doesn't even go in all the way and only charges when the light goes on, and I think my charger is broken. Let's play. As soon as I heard the music, I just had to turn it up. The nostalgia is crazy. I remember playing this game like 15 years ago. The game is actually pretty simple. You move around a red ball, collect these egg-looking things, and progress through the levels. It's a little bit awkward having to use these tiny buttons as a full-grown man. The graphics were very simple, which made the devs get really creative with the limitations. And back then, they actually put a ton of effort into their games. Unlike now. Also, if you notice, this game is 300 kilobytes. Crazy. I then proceeded to solve more puzzles, collect the eggs, and level complete, yay. You could really tell I was enjoying myself. The levels are easy and fun, and there are no microtransactions, no ads, and not even anything to buy. Take your time, I guess. Now let's try Spider-Man 3. The music was such a vibe back then. Now obviously the graphics are nothing spectacular, but here's a fun fact. Because the games were so much more simple, the development costs were much lower, and they could make the game as fast as like a couple of months, instead of a couple of years for current consoles, or I guess 13 years if you're still waiting for GTA 6. Anyway, I had so much fun playing this when I was a kid. I think the swinging animation is still pretty cool. Oh, I'm fighting the goblin. Take that. Oh, don't kick me. Come here. My button mashing abilities have clearly improved as I slowly but surely started to obliterate the goblin. Yeah, that wasn't going well. Stop kicking me. What the hell? And that's the face of someone having a lot of fun. And defeated. The goblin's gone. Well, that was really fun. I got used to the buttons. I was having a lot of fun. There was no ads, no microtransactions. I'd rate that a 7 out of 10. Actually, I'm gonna rate that an 8 out of 10. HTC Desire S. It came out in 2011 and ran Android version 2. You can clearly see how outdated the operating system looks. The bottom slides off, then there's a latch. The inner machinations of this phone are just an enigma. There's a micro SD card slot and the battery just slides out. How cool is that? And guys, the charging port is on the side of the phone. When have you ever seen that? First up, we're gonna play Angry Birds, one of the most iconic mobile games ever made. Now, immediately the first difference that I see, the screen is a lot bigger and it's touchscreen. This era was a massive glow up for gaming. We now had an app store, which meant that games were dropping like almost every day, and Angry Birds was at its peak around this time. This game is so easy to pick up. It was super addictive, original, it had satisfying physics, and it was just a vibe. Wow, I actually lost at Angry Birds. That's embarrassing. Speaking of hits, Fruit Ninja really showed off what a touchscreen could do. Something that Java games could only dream of. You know, I think last time I played this game was when I was a kid and I had this first or second generation iPad. Kiwi, strawberry, apple. Yes, we had much better graphics and better mechanics, but it doesn't objectively make it better than Java games. Anyway, that was so much fun. Still no microtransactions, still no ads, and having a larger screen and slightly better graphics, I'm gonna give this a 9 out of 10. And as phones got more powerful, gaming kind of started going downhill. Samsung Galaxy J5. We go from Android 2 to Android 7. 3-inch screen to 5-inch screen. A single core CPU to an 8-core CPU. The numbers got bigger, yay. And this is when phones still had headphone jacks. Good old times. But did the gaming experience get better? Ooh, the screen is so much better and the resolution is so much higher. And the first game that we're gonna play is Clash of Clans. At this point, Java gaming was basically dead, as Android Play Store was rammed with games. Phones were basically tiny gaming consoles at this point. And now we have some advanced mechanics like being able to place buildings, but did you see that? We had to use gems to finish building a building, which means this is the beginning of microtransactions. Yeah, so clearly the phone is way more powerful. We have loads of enemies on the screen, we have moving stuff. People actually still play this game like 12 years later. This actually blows my mind. But the game that everyone's gonna know is Subway Surfers. This is the game that every single short is split screened with. I think this game is the definition of brain rot. But now it wasn't just about killing time, it was also about getting you addicted, keeping you coming back and making you spend more money on games. And this is where games started to become brain rot slop and full of ads. Oh no. Ooh, a gold pouch, what's this? Continue, what? Get rewards, watch a video. What the hell is this? Oh, why would you show me this? Exit, install, no, I don't want to install anything. Go away, X. Oh, what have I done? I'm not downloading skincare, ASMR. Go away. I can see why this game is so addictive. There's so many things to pick up. There's so many rewards and I just want to keep going. I don't want to put the phone down until I crash. You can't tell me this isn't hypnotizing. I could be yapping for hours right now. And as long as I kept Subway Surfers on the screen, no one would click away. See? It's addictive. Phones have come a really long way. They are basically as powerful as a PS4 now. And they also come in different shapes and sizes. Just like this Galaxy Z Fold. And I forgot to charge it. Luckily, we have moved to USB-C fast charging and the batteries have had a huge jump. An average phone 10 years ago had around 2500 mAh battery. Modern phones have 6,000 milliamps on average. The cooling has much improved and we even have phones specifically designed for gaming. Also, remember when I said that the Java games were like 300 kilobytes? Well, 21 gigabytes for a basic resource option and 34 gigs for full resources? What? We basically have console-sized games now. Now this is everyone's favorite game, Genshin Impact. Wow, the cinematics are crazy and we have a story in a mobile game? Can I just skip? I just want to play the game. I don't really care. Skip. You know, unlike the other games, I can't just sit down and start playing straight away. I really have to pay attention to all these cutscenes, which I don't really care about. I took a mini nap waiting for the cutscenes to finish. I get it, it's a different type of game, but this is not what I expect from mobile gaming. Oh. Whoa, we're getting 3D graphics and they look insane. It almost looks like a PC game. Compare this to the first phone, it's not even close. Clearly, I didn't know what I was doing. I was just running around, listening to some flying anime girl, more walking, and apparently you can drown in this game. I drowned? What? This kinda reminded me of Zelda, a big open world game with pretty landscapes and interesting characters, which apparently have really funny voices.
There are a few of these statues scattered across the land to show the Seven's protection over the world.
So I did what she said. I visited one of those towers, I activated it, some magic blue energy stuff happened, and I was quickly intimidated with how big this world really is. All this quest stuff is kind of complicated now. The fighting is pretty cool and there's some special attacks and okay, I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty sick. You know, the graphics were a lot better, but was I enjoying the game more? Not really. There was a lot of story which I wasn't really interested in. So if you're just sitting on the bus and you're trying to waste some time, this doesn't really improve anything. I think I'd still much rather play the Java games. But anyway, I would rate this a 6. Also, this thing is starting to get hot. Mobile gaming went from pixelated time killers to original and iconic ideas to brain rot slop full of ads that just wanted your money to now having full console-sized games on your phone with graphics and cutscenes. But honestly, the most fun that I had was still on those simple Java games. They were short, straight to the point, you didn't really have to invest time into them, and maybe having it simple is better all along.